It's a song called It's Getting Crowded in Here.
First time I picked up the guitar, it was way out of tune, but I felt like a star. Put some lines in my fingers, kept the lines off my face, put some change in my pockets, kept me falling from grace. Hey! Now the bridges all rusted, the saddles are worn, the finish is faded, the case is all torn, the neck's gone crooked, the heads are all shot, throw the axe in the fire when the wood's all chopped. Hey! It's getting crowded in here, I can barely breathe, it's partying over, but I'm ready to leave. Voices babbling on, and the smoke never clears. I'm stepping outside, it's getting crowded in here. Like Johnny be good, I'm ringing that bell. Been doing my time in the Heartbreak Hotel. Like my friend Jimmy, man, I feel pretty ill. Like those boys down in Graceland taking Elvis's pills. Hey! All the young dudes say they'll not fade away. Telling my generation that'll be the day. So hey buddy Holly, I'm coming to rave. Roll over Beethoven, make him with the grave. Hey! It's getting crowded in here, I can barely breathe. Partying over, but I'm ready to leave. Voices babbling on, and the smoke never clears. I'm stepping outside, it's getting crowded in here. From a condo in Maui to a street in New York came one mixed up chap, I want a celebrity star. A man on a mission, filled the man full of holes, took a piece of my heart, threw a rock out of my road. Yeah! It's getting crowded in here, I can barely breathe. This party's not over, I'm ready to leave. Voices babbling on, and the smoke never clears. knowing no pain, staying up all night. Got it from a man who got it from a man somewhere who knows a man down in Miami. He ain't got no hair. One man dies from it, one man's hired from it. Young man was a sharpshooter, then he's a methadone. You can blame it on the 60s, blame it on Vietnam. He gets home and he gets excited to late stress syndrome. He gets his gun out, he's gonna fire it, the SWAT team in his home. He defended it, they could have ended it. Blood money, blood money. Cable TV, talking about his Lord, asking for your contribution. What can you afford? You got trouble, financial, gotta stay strong. So reach down now and take deeper. You ain't got too long. One man dies for you. Is that place for you? Blood money, blood money. He said, go and spend it. There's no end to it. Blood money, yeah, blood money. That was my imitation of Bob Dylan circa 1984. Did a record called Infills with Sly and Robbie from the Wailers as the rhythm section, and with Mark Knopfler on guitar and Mick Taylor on the the other speaker. What a great record. You ever see it? Get it? Infidels.
Now that's a story.
Okay, I got a story. So, this is a song. I lived in California for a while. After I graduated from Florida State, I went out and lived in California for about 24 years. And I lived in Venice Beach, which was a really great place to live as an artist, because, you know, it's like an artist community there. A lot of weirdos and people just on the boardwalk selling all their art and stuff and live performances. And so at one point I was working at an art gallery, and I ended up, I just got tired of paying my rent because my credit cards were just going up, and it was very expensive to live in Los Angeles. And then I bought this blue. My buddy was a bass player. We had a band, and it was in Laurel Canyon of all places. And I was just tired of paying my rent, and so I just was like, I need another plan here. So this blue Volkswagen bus, it was 1969 bus, was sitting across the street from my buddy's place, and we had a rehearsal. And I walked out and I put a note on the car. I was like, hey, I'd be interested in buying this Volkswagen bus. And the guy called me back, and he was a photographer, and that has nothing to do with the story, but I bought it for $300, and I took it to the shop, and I got it fixed. And then I just went down to Venice, and I just proceeded to live in the van for about 6 months, you know. And it was a blue Volkswagen bus, and it was called Bubba Lou Blue. And this is a song that was like written during that time. I met this lovely lady named Gypsy, who's no longer here. And she came from like this songwriting family that was like from like Tennessee. Her uncle had written that song, "The Race Is On," that George Jones did a hit with it in the Grateful Dead. So I was excited to be meeting this person that her family, you know, wrote that song. And this song's written about her during that time, and we ended up being together for about 7 years, and I played in her band, and this is a song about her. It's called Living in Zen. Me and Baloo were traveling through the park, up along the beaches. I spied a meadow lark. It was a lovely lady dancing in the dark, but I could not make heads or tails. The moment slipped away. Up along the beaches, the clouds began to rain, and I said, feel like living in Zen again. Feel like living in Zen again. Since that day, there is no reason to be pleasing the others who are trying to steal your soul. But I know you can find me in that little hideaway beneath the waves. As the sun shines and the light on the wind-covered road, I hope we don't disappear into the sea. Trying to stay afloat in a land of misery. Misery. We got to hold on. Don't let it slip away. Don't let it slip away. We got to let go of all the pain. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zen, and it turns out I met this guy over here at an Uncle John's band show. He was playing guitar that day in Palm Harbor, and he's got a recording studio and Zen Recording that he had for years, and so we recorded that song there.
I used to live in it.
You used to live in the recording studio?
It was in it.
Alright, it's another one written about a woman.
No.
And when you lose yourself, you know, lose your identity and you get into a relationship. That's what this one's about. Destination no. So I can lose my fears and take it to places real, a place I can lose myself and not begin to feel like childhood is slipping, you're floating through the air. Memories like candlesticks are melting down. Destination unknown. Destination unknown. part down, and then my vocal up. Thank you. Special thanks to Paul. He's doing the sound for us all around.
We're going to do a song now. It's one of the newest ones I've written. I don't write songs anymore, but I'm about to change that. But I wrote this one within the last couple of years, so it's Mantra. So long for the words to that new song. Then you walked in the room, there you went. Well, I bitched, I moaned, I cursed your ringing phone, the one your face was always buried in. Just rolled her eyes with a condescending sigh. Just better luck next time, you silly boy. My lips won't happen for you. Well, it was never gonna happen unless you do. Thing into. Now the apocalypse won't happen for you.
So when I met Steve, we all realized there were some of the songs we do, we kind of marketed as conspiracy rock. You know.
I started that in the 80s. It's all different now. It's all the same though.
This next song's called Big Brother. How about that? What were you going to do? You had something in mind.
Go ahead. What were you going to do? Okay. What you got to do?
a song about love lost being the other guy, not the right guy, the other guy.
That was really good, Bob.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So I did that.
I do good when I'm heartbroken. That don't last long, don't worry.
That's the blues. Yeah.
How about a song called Lost?
What does it mean?
This is about living in Los Angeles and feeling lost, driving around
I
Los
felt
Angeles.
lost the moment I stepped off the plane. Los Angeles. It's horrible.
That's before GPS.
It's about all that and, you know, all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world all the time, basically. It's this song.
Feeling lost, but you keep on moving. Don't look back. Forget what you're losing. You don't wanna stop. You don't wanna get caught. So many crazy, crazy people in the streets tonight. Close your eyes and dream. Fall apart at the sea. Well, you got to keep moving on. Got to separate the weak ones from the strong. Everyone of us has got to carry on. Some starve from hunger, some die of thirst. But I'm gonna stay right inside this bubble, 'cause I know someday it's gonna burst. Close your eyes and dream. Fall apart at the sea. Well, you got to keep moving, you got to keep moving on. You got to separate the weak ones from the strong. Every one of us has got to carry on.
All right, this next song's about despair.
That's okay. Whatever. But why?
And just, okay. So this was, there was this period of time where like I was with someone and I was feeling, I wasn't maybe wanting to be with them as much as they wanted to be with me. So that's why I wrote this one called Why Can't I Be Away? But Steve corrected me and said that's actually not the proper grammar for that song. It's actually how can I be away? We're gonna say why can I be away for this one.
It's rock and roll, man.
Everybody knows Steve.
Maybe you met one.
Sunshine on my windowsill as I psychedelic bluebird swimming in the sand tonight. Why can't I be away? Why can't I be away? Why can't I be away from you? It's true. In the town, everyone's asleep. I can't speak. Why can't I be away? Why can't I be away? Why can't I be away from you? It's true. Everyone sees I can just be free. I spent some time in heaven. And all I can see and so I say goodbye. Oh,
much of a story to that last one.
It's a great song.
Thank you, appreciate it. I think there's a name for like that walk down kind of thing. It's almost like the stairway to heaven.
Yeah.
Chromatic dissension. It's
Just asking.
something in the way she moves. It's a million songs.
Yeah, very Beatles.
Here's a song about suburbia. It was very blissful to me. I liked suburbia. I was happy. I wanna be a simple man, as uncomplicated as I could be. I'll get the hang of suburban life. I'll cut the grass. I love my wife, you'll see, 'cause she loves me. Artist with his tortured soul, but I could never take that road. Could be a genius, but don't quite fit. Could be a happy man. Oh yeah. I'll trim the hedges, I'll paint the house, while you're out shopping for a brand new blouse to wear. We haven't got a care in the world. I'm saving up to buy this van and take my family to Disneyland in June. It'll be here soon. So I could never play that role. He's a genius, but I won't quite fit. Be a happy man. Be a happy man. The smoky days around the barbecue. Pull up your lawn chair, have a few with me. You know it's just iced tea. I used to meditate on cosmic things. Now I'm trying to cook these chicken wings for you. They'll be hot ones too. So I could never play that role. Could be a genius, but I won't quite get. Could be the happy man. Yeah. Be the happy man. Faucet's dripping, the bathtub leaks. It ain't so bad, I'll fix it in a week or two. I've got these things to do, but I ain't worried. Don't worry, baby. I'm happy. Don't worry, baby. Don't worry. Don't worry, baby. When you're happy, don't worry, baby.
We're on. So it's my turn to sing a song here. I'm going to sing a song that I wrote on the 4th of July many years ago. And I was in a band in Los Angeles, and the band had just broken up. And we had played this big 4th of July show the year before, and I left the band because it was kind of a Yoko Ono kind of situation, I guess you could call it. That's what some of the other guys in the band called it, but you know. But I was sticking by my lady on this one, and I had to leave the band. So, and I was sitting at home on the 4th of July feeling sorry for myself, and just being kind of somber about, like, you know, all the people that come into your life and leave, whether it be a relationship or you know, somebody who may have lived in your life before, and they're no longer here.
It got really loud up here.
It's better now. I had the pedals on. It's called Midnight Rain. So anyways, this is a song about, you know, I wrote it on the 4th of July, and I was feeling sad, and it's my sad country song is what I call it. But we started playing it a little faster, just to not to be a bummer. But it's about, like, you know, losing people in your life, whether it be a relationship or maybe somebody that meant a lot to you that's no longer here, that passed away or something. And it's called Midnight Rain.
Blazing in the saddle, riding in the midnight rain, looking at the ocean, feeling my heart in pain, hoping and wishing you were by my side again. Never gonna see you smile, my friend. Well, I'm not asking for much, I just wanna feel your touch. Moving on through the midnight rain. Well, the world is slowly melting since you've been gone, and I stare into the sunlight, but I just can't seem to move on. Reaching for those memories, reaching far beyond. Never gonna hear your sweet, sweet song. But the years go by so quickly, and the memories seem to fade. Moving on to the midnight rain.
So when I wrote that song, I wrote this other song around that same time too. This buddy of mine, and we're still friends, but this is just a song I wrote because he made me mad. We had like this band we were doing and then he came in, and then I, introduced him to the other guys in the band, and then they formed another band and kicked me out of that band. And then I was like, I let this guy come into my house and use my home studio, and he was recording his songs, getting it all together, and then I got kicked out of the band. So I wrote this song for him.
Is he still your friend?
We're still friends on Facebook. But he lives far away, so we don't really see each other very much. And he doesn't even know that I wrote this song about him, actually. I'm not going to mention any names here, but it's called You're Not Welcome Around Here.
That's a fact, so won't you keep on walking and don't look back. You're not welcome around here. You're not welcome around here. No more. But the shirt on my back, but you took that too, cause you got no tag. Well, I hear you've been hanging with my ex-friends. Well, you deserve each other until the bitter end. So, you're not welcome around here. You're not welcome around here. No more. And your eyes closed tight. Well, nothing can save you from your own damn self. You're the worst enemy, and nobody else can steal. I know mistake. You're not welcome around here. You're not welcome around here. You're not welcome around here. Come on.
I don't need it.
And this song I stole from Stevie Nicks. Just a couple words. Just a couple words. You can tell me where you hear it. gotta happen sooner or later. Gotta happen somewhere in the world. Some say it's been a long time coming. Some say it hits you by surprise. The train is running right on schedule. Heaven knows when it will arrive. Yeah, people get ready. Looking over screens. This is the real thing. We're gonna get our way. Big get even. The judgment day. Tension than a Hitchcock movie. It's later than a late, late show. You even shoot like an instant camera. You push the button, the picture grows. It's almost like a river theater. And stranger than off-Broadway. It's getting like a big production. Almost like a passion play. The dress rehearsal, and this ain't the one night stand. This is the real thing. We're gonna get our way. This is the big get even. The judgment day. Photos in the morning papers, the notice in the young men's mail. Got it live on the network broadcast. You're watching as the system fails. Accusations in the halls of justice, confusion in the conference room, indecision in the Oval Office. The last set here goes. This is the real thing. Gonna get our way. This is the big get. That song, actually, we won a national band contest in 1986 because of that song. Willie Nelson, Wrangler Jeans Invitation. Very cool. We got like 100 pairs of Wrangler jeans, and they came to the front of my house and just threw it on the front lawn, boxes. 100 Wrangler jeans. We took it to the gig that night and gave away. Then we got a record deal from that song on a local album called Tampa Smokes. There was a vinyl record in the 80s called Tampa Smokes. And Steve Tinsky put it out. And we were on it with a bunch of other local bands. And some guy in Nashville heard it, came down here looking for whoever that was who. We had a record deal, made a whole record, went to Nashville, 1988. It was beautiful. And the record never came out. The label went bankrupt for when they were making the CDs. So we got 300 cassettes. Story of Judgment Day. Here I am, it's another day, wondering how you are, 'cause you aren't here with me when you know I'll take it hard. It's been a while, been a long, long while. I've got the patience of Job. There's a world behind your eyes where I'm still longing to go. But there's something in the way, something in the way she moves. Say or do to change her mind. When I'm still here, I'm always near. You got these chains around my heart, and I pretend you still feel the same way. How will I play a part? Say or do to change her mind. it's a joke. So maybe someday, maybe someday, we can take that little stroll. That was called Patience of Joe.
My turn.
We don't play that a lot, so we fucked it up, but so sounded good.
So I'm going to do a song called The Ballad of Angus MacLaren. And this is about my Scottish heritage is McLaren, is the last name. And this is kind of, you know, a song about my family came over here. Some of my family came over on Ellis Island. If you're familiar, anybody here have family that came over on Ellis Island?
My great-grandfather,
Oh yeah?
he
Ireland?
built stages on Broadway.
Ireland.
There was somebody out there too. I saw a hand go up.
Okay, here we go.
They say once you freedom, then you try to run away. try to run away. Say you want your freedom and you try to run away. Run freedom, run away. Run freedom, run away. Oh, run freedom, run away. Yeah, run freedom, run away. Yeah, run freedom, run away. Run away, run freedom, run away. Yeah, run freedom, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. 1, 2, 3.
Is that two?
That was one. Scary noises.
I'll switch to the electric because I want to do this other song. Tell us a story, Steve. Set this next song up.
This is the story of my life up to the age of 19. This is part 2, but no one's ever heard that. I wrote this in 1983. My daughter had just been born, and I had the flu. She was sleeping, smoking at a joint, and I wrote this whole song. And then at once. my Bob Seger invitation. It's called Simple Truth.
But yeah, so this song it's called Ja Ja, Come and Take Us Away. And it's kind of, you know, it's about people talk about the end of the world and you know, the people on the planet are doing all this crazy stuff, and it just feels like, you know, just wipe us all off the map, you know, and start over.
If you just listen to Ja Ja all day and snort ganja, everything would be okay.
But you know, Ja is also the name for God that the Rastafarians call it as well. And I played this song 26 years ago at a rainbow gathering in Montana. It was a national rainbow gathering, and I played it at an open mic. And that was it. I just, you know, I was like, that was just a moment in time. And then 2 years later, I was at this music festival, and I was very young at the time. By the way, I was probably about, I don't know, let's see, 26 years ago, so I was much younger. But then 2 years after that, I was at this music festival in Southern California, and I met two lovely ladies, and I'm not going to incriminate myself, but we decided to go to the hot springs together with me and these lovely ladies, and we went into the, we drove their car out into the middle of the desert, and we were going to this place called Desert Hot Springs, and we were going to go to the hot springs, me and these two lovely women, and I normally don't tell this story because it's a little embarrassing. But so, as we're going there, we stop to get gas at the hot springs, and this song comes on the radio, and I hear it, and I'm like, wait, that sounds a little bit like me. And I was like, hold on a second, and I was like, I know the words to this song, and I was like, that's me on your radio, and I'm just like, where did you, and the girl's like, she's singing the words to the song, and I was like, she knew all the words to the song, and I was like, where's this from? And she said, this is from the Rainbow Gathering in Montana. It was a bootleg copy from that open mic, and I was like, I had no idea that someone was recording this. And here I am hearing myself in this bootleg recording in the desert in a gas station. And so then we go to the hot springs. We had this amazing time. We went there for the day, and we stayed all day until it was night. And so the problem is when you try to come back on these trails at night, all the light changes in the desert, and so it's like, where you thought the trail was, it doesn't look like that anymore because like the light has shifted everywhere, and so this little thin trail that's going across the edge of the mountain, we got diverted, so we're like stuck in the middle of the desert, and we were just like, how are we gonna get? It took us at least 2 hours to get out to this hot spring. We were like, how are we going to get back to our car? And so I said, and then I guess we're just going to have to wait till the light comes out and figure out where the trail's at. And so we all cuddled up in a ditch and with a towel and just one towel, and just all of us just cuddled up, just cold desert night, like freezing in the deserts. And we were just hoping that we weren't going to get eaten by like a mountain lion. There was nothing sexy about this moment at all. And so then, we just froze all night, shivered all night long, and then finally the light came up, and we realized, oh, the trail's just right over there. We saw the trail. And so then we finally, once the light came up, we got back to our car and we got home, and we all went home to our respective homes. And then I don't think I ever saw the one gal ever again, but the other one we hung out for a little bit. But anyways, this is the song Ja Ja. This is a story about Ja Ja, and how music, just kind of carries on in ways that you don't even realize it, through bootlegs. kids, you know? Like, I never would have thought that I would have hurt myself, like, in a gas station in the desert, you know, a couple years later. But this is Ja Ja.
Sunshine will come my way. Feeling good from the news today. Ja Ja, come and take us away. 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 She showed her the way of John. Come and take us away. 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 You can see it this way. He's not talking about the fact, or the new age state, but something inside that makes you feel so free. Makes you jump for joy, makes you see the light, makes you wanna get down tonight, yeah. Just come and take us away. Just come and take us away. Come and take us away. Come and take us away. Wishing sunshine would come my way. Feeling good from the news today. Ja Ja, come and take us away. 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 Ja Ja, come and take us away.
How about these guys playing with us here? We got Mark Messina on the bass. Mark is also our archivist and records all of our live shows. And if you go to that little QR code over there, it takes you to a whole archive of all of our live shows that he's been recording for like the past 2 years on the soundboard and mixing them. And they're coming out really awesome. So be sure to check that out. Mark Messina over here. He puts all our set lists together. And then we got our drummer over here, Damon Navarre. How about a round of applause for Damon? Damon and I are both from Pittsburgh, too. That's how we kind of knew each other, because my dad and his cousin were in this Pittsburgh Steelers fan club at O'Brien's many years ago. And then and he told, Marco, his cousin, told my dad that, his cousin's a drummer, and I'm a musician, and when I would come back and visit from Los Angeles, we would have these jams at ukuleles in Land O'Lakes, and then when this pandemic happened, I moved back here from California, and we started this band, and then I was out seeing Uncle John's band show. I was like playing acoustic that time, and Steve was sitting in with Uncle John's band, and I met him at Bogota restaurant in Palm Harbor. And Rich Whiteley, the guitar player for Uncle John's, he said, "Hey, talk to that guy. He's got a recording studio." And then I talked to him, and it was Zen Recording, and then we've been recording all of our original songs with Steve, like in the studio, ever since. And we have all those. You can go to the QR code and check out all of our live stuff online too. That Steve's mixed as well for like the studio recordings. So be sure to check that out.
It's also a nice CD. I don't know. There's no price on it. It's priceless.
Make your own price. You could get $100 or even $1, but $100 would be great, right? We got one more song.
I haven't put it online yet because I didn't want to. Yeah. It's special. Sit there and wallow and sever.
We already did play something. Are you sure? Yeah, we haven't done it.
voluntary choice based on gut reaction and a conscientious voice. You see a storm approaching, you better go inside. Hear the hunter's footsteps, you better run and hide. Something is about to be revealed. Show me. See it in the dark. Shoot your arrow blindly and always hit the mark. Trust your intuition to always know the way. It'll be clear in the morning or take another day. Something is about to be revealed. Show me. Show me.
Does Rich Sheldon have another song in him? There's lists everywhere up here. All right. Give us another one, guys.
Alright, so there's this one more song here. This one's called Lightning in a Bottle. We tried to pawn this off to the Tampa Bay Lightning and see if they would buy this song, maybe. Made a little video for it on YouTube. You can check it out. With the
Should be a sure thing. Just did the right marketeer.
I know the song that they have. I'm not a big fan of the Lightning song that they're using right now. Thank you so much.
trick pony in a one-horse town, changing apples to oranges. A rose-colored sky, there's a circus clown, and old people are laughing. A dancing bear is moving through the town, catching lightning in a bottle, and then shaking all around. The mountains move, the ocean cries for you, yeah. Catching lightning in a bottle. Then hold it right below your chin. She'll give you all the answers. Come on, sugar, won't you let me in? Won't you give me some sunshine? Won't you put it back on top of my head? Let's eat cake together. Bucket of paint this town somewhere. Catch you lightning in a bottle. Then shake it all around. Mountains move, the ocean's part of you, yeah. Catch you lightning in a bottle. Oh, you're late, you're looking for something true. The catches on and the fire burns so blue. Bubblegum machine that keeps your engine clean. With all the world around you wants to be part of the scene. Everyone is leading you into a masquerade. And every sense outside yourself just starts to fade away. Catch a lightning in a bottle. And then shake it all around. The mountains move, the ocean part of you, yeah. Catch a lightning in a bottle. Catch a lightning in a bottle. Catch a lightning in a bottle. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Appreciate it.